We are all welcome to our day 3 of our intensive training. This training we are doing now, we did not invite anybody from London. We did not invite everybody from even outside Enugu. It's us, we. So please, I would like all of us to silence our phone. Please. Our class, or rather the first lecture, will be very brief, direct to the point, because we still have another class in the next 30 or 1 hour, 30 minutes or 45 minutes, so to say. So our topic is land survey, or rather survey and survey and land measurement. There are certain things as a realtor, or if you go to our profiles now, you'll be seeing somebody answering, I'm a real estate consultant, your best real estate broker, so many titles. But if you ask them the basic things that will make you a real estate consultant, so to say, they can't answer because they don't know it. And for you to, that a medical doctor doesn't make you a consultant, for example, or that your particular field doesn't make you a consultant. It simply means that for you to be a consultant, you must have attained certain level of trainings and exposure for you to now consult. And our aim here is that after these 6 days intensive class or classes, you can boldly say, I'm a real estate consultant. And that is why I'm talking about land survey, and of course discussed other topics, which we also discuss other topics. By the time you add all of them and have this notebook or your note or your pad, whenever somebody comes up to you, even while sleeping, you can easily answer 1 or 2 questions partaking real estate. And then for me, there is no real estate without survey. If you like, turn it upside down. There is no real estate without survey. Just the same way that there won't be any real estate without the developer, there won't be any real estate without the marketers, there won't be any real estate without those who regulate and no one is more important than the other, but all of them have to work in synergy for us to achieve, our particular goal. But oftentimes we hear survey. We do not even know what it means. If I ask, this one is interactive class, but I think if I ask, what is land survey now? But our aim here is to learn. And that is why, while we are discussing, if you have any question, do well to come ask your question and we will answer it. Don't be shy to ask any question, no? Because if you don't know it, you don't know it. Now, what is land survey? Mind you, there is a word survey and there's a word land. Without this one is not the same meaning again. Survey can mean anything. We have market survey, we have quantity survey, we have a lot of surveys. But when it comes to land survey, in a very layman term, that's for us to understand it clearly. Land survey simply is a process of measuring and mapping a land. It's a process of measuring and mapping a land. We don't measure. Land survey, if I bring tape now and measure this table, that is a process. I've measured this table. But if I measure this table and I didn't map it simply means that, for example, I've measured, I will not have to write. I've measured 20. I've measured here 10. I must draw it. That's as I'm measuring on ground, I am drawing. If I measure and draw, it's a process of land survey. But why are you measuring and why are you mapping? I'm trying to make this so that you can easily answer it anywhere. Now, you are measuring and you are mapping. To determine that land survey now is the process of measuring and mapping of a land. To determine the exact location. One, size. To determine the exact location, the size. The shape. That means if I'm measuring, land surveying now is the process of measuring and mapping a land. And the essence of measuring and mapping is to determine the location. That is why a survey plan is null and void if it doesn't have a location. A survey plan is useless if it doesn't have a size there, written there. It is meaningless if it doesn't show you the shape of your land. And finally also, is they do survey. They have many reasons. So this one I'm saying is just the peripheral, and so that I don't have to bore us with unnecessary terminologies. Are you with me? And location, size, and this is boundary. So whenever your client asks you, or whatever you tell your client, please sir, you need to pay for this survey plan. If your client asks you why am I supposed to pay for it? Just tell the client that you need to pay so that we can measure, we can map your land, so that we can determine the exact that is why if you come to me and say or we should go and do what's it called, we should go and do allocation for you, I'll tell you I don't have the information for me to go and do allocation for you. For me to get that information, I must have to survey that land. That from the information I'll now get the location of the land, I'll now get the size of the land, I also get the shape of the land, and then the boundaries. These are the basics. And who is the one that can do all this? The only person that can do this thing is a licensed land surveyor. See, so that's the difference between a surveyor. A surveyor is the one that carries out all this process. And then what they are doing, what the process of the entire thing they are doing is called land surveying. As simple as that. Oftentimes, what we do, the kind of survey we do, is we pick this boundary here, here, and here. But the truth remains that if you want to do a proper planning, that is kind of survey we call topo survey. In that topo survey, we pick randomly, or maybe in a grid form, we'll determine here, 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 like this, depending on the sequence you want to use. Now, this place will give you the information, not just the location of your land, the boundary, it will give you the information about the topography of this land. Now, that's why it's called topo survey. From this topography now, you will now plan, if it's a big layout, that is only when you will determine the flow of water. For example, as simple as a beacon. Beacon is just that thing that they use to put demarcation. If your client asks you, just tell the client that you're not a surveyor. That is that thing that they use to demarcate land. And mind you, because unless person just want to frustrate you, because there are, these things you are seeing beacons, there are different types of beacons, and they serve different purposes. If I go to a land now and I see a beacon, I know that this place is not meant for private individuals. I can see a beacon and say this place is for mining. I can see a beacon and say this place is swampy. Sometimes this talk about this proper planning. LAC Ghana, na dry season. If they sell land to you during the dry season, you can come during the rainy season and find that place is a very good swimming pool. and that's what I'm saying. These are the things sometimes you don't know that particular place you are buying is what we call the lowest point. There's a place called lowest point. If you are buying if you have something like this, if you see the flat land here, agents, this place is a very table land. They will show you Noreba, you'll be seeing Sokoto. You'll be here, you might be here, you are seeing here, but you don't know that place that's every rain that will fall here and fall here. They are going to, this is their settlement point. But as they say, an address, mind you. So if you did not carry out your survey, I'm talking about we in Powell Homes and Shelters. We do not do anything without doing proper work. We'll count one before we count two. I'm telling you to also do the same. So those things that they put to demarcate you from your neighbor is called now. Or rather, let me explain these things using a survey plan. For example, let me now explain a survey plan. A complete survey plan, so that I will be doing all these things once, so that I won't have to. A survey plan, number one, will contain plan number. 2, will contain name of the owner. Will contain the size. We'll have size or area of land, areas. If you get a survey plan, or after a few months, your surveyor may charge the survey. And because unlike legal documents, for example, a lawyer will sit in the comfort of his office and prepare a document. It is not left for you, or you can contact your lawyer to go and do the registration of that document. I don't know if you're getting it. If they prepared it of assignment and power of attorney for you, it is not left for you to go and register it at the ministry. Correct me if I'm making a mistake. But in survey, it is opposite. The surveyor, it is duty of the surveyor to submit that, what we call it is cloth copy, to submit the cloth copy back to the ministry for you to confirm if truly that document is there. What you are going to use to make that search is this plan number, and that is why no two survey plans can have the same plan number. Plan number is a unique number attached to every survey plan. I don't know if you're getting it now. So that plan number now is what you are going to use to go and make search to confirm if this thing truly the whole work of the surveyor, that he perfected it. So if you get a survey plan that doesn't have this, what you're having is just white paper or blue paper. You are not carrying an authentic survey plan. Also, a survey plan must bear the name of the owner or owners of the land. Must bear this thing. If husband and wife, if you come to me and say, or as a wife, you are insisting that your husband will include your name in the documentation of the land, and the husband is telling you, okay, your husband will now go and write Mr. and Mrs. Chijoke. Oh, boss, my sister, your name is not existing. I don't know if you are getting it. Yes. If your husband writes Mr. and Mrs. Oh, boss, I can claim as the man that I'm the Mr. and also the Mrs. I don't know if you are getting it now. Yes. So the name must be Mr. Chijoke, oh, boss, and Mrs. Marianne. It must be complete. That is why I say owner or owners. If it's Mr. and Mrs. Edward is owner, you don't have two persons there. Please, you have to note that. I don't know if you're getting it now. Yes. That thing is very, very important. Although if you come to our firm, that's why we say we do not allow you to make a mistake. The survey plan must contain the size or the area of the land. If they tell you that they've sold 50 by 100 to you or 60 by 100 to you, the only way you can confirm if truly that land is complete or not is to look at the size. We are still going to come to the 50 by 100 and 60 by 100, but that's one of the major things that confuses us as a realtor. A survey plan must also contain, I will tell you one thing, and it's my advice to every one of us here. If a surveyor, let's say you are, one of the reasons why they always say, if you buy your land, go and perfect the document, and to perfect document, you start with land survey. If today's date is 10th, mainly we survey today, and I decide to put 25th of December last year, that person is killing you. I don't know if you're getting it. Because this plan number here works hand in hand with this date. If you see your beacon number and it is BZ, if they go to their record, they know the particular time they gave out BZ. So if the person is backdating your survey, if the person backdates it, and mind you, the person cannot just backdate it careless. Let's say the person want to backdate, or say, I can backdate here. I backdate here. Now, that December, we keep CZ. Whose number? Mind you that this big plan number is a unique code, which means if it decides to give you CZ 1006, there must be another person that they've given this particular number. So if you go for search, it's that person's one that will come out. Because why I'm saying this thing is that, of course, a lot of us have been tempted to do so, especially even with dispute cases. They will ask who is the first person that did the survey. And because you want to now claim that you are the first person that did the survey, you now backdate your own. That's number one point. They will just, I don't know how they do it, but they just use left hand and throw away your document. So please, that date is very key. You understand? It's very, very, very important. It must show there. And that thing that must show there is the location of it. We've talked about it before. The location, very, very important. Very, very, very important. One of the most important thing again that you will see in the survey plan. In fact, it's one of the most important thing you must see. It's what we call coordinates. I'm sure a lot of us have heard of that thing. One of the most important thing, I'll write it, is coordinate. Let me know. Coordinates. We have different types of coordinates, but the one we see in surveying is what we call Cartesian coordinate, but that's not your business. Or you call it, some people call it longitude and latitude. Now, geography days. But surveyors will use what we call Cartesian coordinates. We call it easting and northing. Now, I'll shock you. You see this place now, this point now, these two things now, these two boxes here, as I'm looking at, as tiny as and as close as they are, they have two different coordinates. In fact, my two hands, this one and this one, they have two different coordinates. So if after doing survey for you, I must give you the coordinate of the coordinate of this point. In some cases, as a surveyor, you can put only one. That I can choose a point here and put the coordinates. If you want to put all of them, it's up to you. But you're allowed to put at least one. What that thing will do for you is that as a private person, you know, sometimes you have a client I've done a survey for. I've done survey for one of your clients, so, but you see, you calling me surveyor, I need the coordinates of Wonderland Estate. That's because you don't even know the information you have. With this information alone, you will not just know where your land is, you will know the exact point. I'm not here to teach you how to do it, but just know that that's one of the functions of that coordinates. If they give you a survey without coordinates, my sister or my brother, there's every possibility that the land that they sold to you or the land you are claiming you own is in Badagry. And let me tell you, see, if they give you a location of land, this location and these two things must work hand in hand. If you key in, we have a situation recently, I'm not going to mention, where they gave the community people location and gave them different coordinates. Where they gave you location in Anambra State, in Njikoka local government, and you key in the coordinates, you have seen yourself in Calabar. And that's to tell you that that document doesn't exist. Because when you go back to the ministry now to submit the cloth copy, they will tie this thing together to know if the surveyor actually did the right job. If not, they will bounce it, this thing. So if you are seeing a complete survey plan, it must come with a coordinate. It is very, very important. Other things that will come, of course, scale. Let me just try those ones. Name of the surveyor. Let me just write the surveyor. Surveyor's name, signature, address. Surveyor's name, his or her signature and address, and in some cases, the phone number have to be there. Which one am I missing? Thank you, my brother. If there's no sale, there's no survey. If there's no sale, stamped seal, not stamp one, not just sale. I can say sealed and stamped. So which other thing again? I think these are the basic things that you have to see, or you must see in the survey plan for you to call it an authentic survey plan. So whenever you come, these are my surveyors. And now, very important again, if I'm trying to do a survey for you, I cannot sit in my office and manufacture this thing. I don't know if you're getting it. I cannot sit in my office and manufacture this number. If you get any of your survey plan, you must see that there is a particular number written here. There's a particular number written here. There's a particular number written here. There's a particular number written here. If your beacon number is not there, or numbers are not there, what you have is just empty sheet of paper. And let me tell you again where they cheat most of us. You see, but they cannot find out. You can never ever find out unless maybe after 6 months, at least 7 months, you go back and do research to verify if that document is real. Sometimes they will give what we call arbitrary. All those people that don't like to pay complete, they will tell you that a survey plan is 250,000. Mind you that we are doing it 50,000. Is that we are sorting ourselves. I don't know if you are getting. You can never see. It will be difficult for you to say real estate firm that is doing survey for 250,000, because what we were told in the ministry is to do a fresh survey for 250,000, 0 to 600 square meters. Lifting 350k for 0 to 600 square meters. That is what is obtainable. But some of you will come and say, surveyor, please, can you do this thing for me for 80,000 or 150,000? If surveyor is hungry at that moment, he will collect that, because maybe the landlord is holding him on his waist because of rent. He will collect it, and at the end of the day, give what we call arbitrary beacon numbers that doesn't exist, because for him to get that beacon number, he must pay. From that 250,000, he must deposit at least 160,000 to the government. I don't know if I'm shouting. I'm not shouting right now. if they come and if we insist on 250, that's why if we insist on 250k survey plan, just know that we are trying to do the real job for you. Because one out of that 160 will pay 2,500-3,000 depending on the situation for a beacon number. How special we have normal. For some of you will be claiming that they want a corner plot. Mind if this is a corner plot, it means it will have a beacon number here. I have a beacon number here. Which means I'm going to pay 3,000 times 5. Inside that's plus that one, inside that 250,000. There are monies you are supposed to deposit to Nigerian Association of Surveyors of Regulation Council of Nigeria, and APPSN, Association of Private Party Surveyors of Nigeria, any state after. These three bodies will give them their own money. Mind you, I'll buy beacon. Inside that your 80,000 you're bargaining, I'll buy beacon to go to the side. I'll buy cement. I'll buy sand. And I'll pay the surveyors because I can't work alone. And inside that your money too, I have to feed my family. So my brother, I will have to take, I'll just remove 60,000. Whatever 20,000 I can do for you, I'll do it for you. And mind you, but for me to go and submit that plot copy back to government, I will pay another fine. And so not fine, I'll pay another money. So for you to get your survey right, you must pay the complete money. That's by the way. So for me to get that beacon number, I cannot manufacture it from my own house. I have to pay a certain amount of money. That is why they say in survey, they have minimum charge and mandatory deposit. There is a money that I must mandatorily deposit. That is why they tell you, if you are doing this job, the minimum you are supposed to collect is this thing. You won't do a correct job for your client. Any other thing? Now, please, if you have listed all these things, please, if you get a survey for you, always go through these things to see if you will see. And also, another thing you will see is what we call distance or distances and bearing. Distance and bearing. For those that did physics very well, they will understand what this thing means. Mind you, this thing now, A and B, this is a distance. From here to here is like, let's say, 50 meters. But maybe this thing now, sorry, is angle 90. Sorry, I'm going to mark, but this is 90. What if this land is like this? I have to also show you the bearing of the land, the distance and the bearing. That it is facing this way or it is facing this way, the bearing will tell you. And from here to here, what is the distance in between? Then finally, north arrow or and origin. Just write it down. I cannot explain this one for you. If not, we can armor room. They have marginal, or they have different north arrow. If I'm showing you this thing now, what it simply means, and let me explain to you. If you bring your phone that has a compass, when phone has a compass, okay. Now, look at this thing now. This is the end. This is that north arrow we are seeing, and if you see it most times, the end will be there. This is that end now. So what it means is that if you give me a survey plan, I will bring a compass like this and face that end. The way this one is showing me that this place is north. Now this place, I'll place that survey plan exactly that place that north is. It will show me if I'm on ground. It will show me. But sometimes some of you would go to the land that they've done survey for you. You see, my land is not facing like this. It's not facing like this, as if the surveyor that determines it. You say no, but this is where the road is now. How come in the plan I put in the road at the back? That is because you are standing in a place you don't know your front and your back. You think you know your front and your back. You don't know. By Earth's gravity and Earth by equator and all that, you don't know your front, you don't know your back. If I tell you to move to the north now, you don't know where your north is. You just tell me the northeastern, and maybe your original north is at your back. I don't know if you are getting it now. Yes. That's what this one will do. That's what this one's will do for you. Please, that is all about the basics of what we do for you here as a survey. Any question from this end now? Or if you have questions, just be writing it down so that you go to the next one. I can clean these things now. Now let's go to sizes. I believe you are familiar with these things. So we also have to pay attention there, because oftentimes when our clients, what is the size of that land? They say I know 500 square meters. We see the number. I know or 50 by 100 or 60 by 100, I will tell you the simple trick. Just write those things down. If they ask you, say, let me do something, you do it small, you do small mathematics. I know some of us, when we were in secondary school, we used to run away from mathematics. And they'll be asking you, when will you'll be asking yourself or be asking the teacher, when will I use this thing? You are telling me to find x, you must find that x to me. Yeah? You see where one of those x, yeah, is, you will see one of where the location of one of those x is, and the one important. Because let me tell you, just like this thing we are doing now, the essence of basic mathematics is that you continually find it, the place. That nobody is saying to go and do further mathematics and go. Just basic. Please be open-minded. I'm seeing some people already panicking. You know, the country that colonized us before now, what our, people before our generation, what they understand is foot. This thing is 1 foot. 1 foot. 1 meter, 2 meters. 1 meter, 2 meters. Foot, feet, then kilometers. Yeah. What are people before now on that? If you are telling them anything by meters, they don't understand. So it is now your duty now for you to be called real estate consultant. It means you are teaching. You are capable of teaching. If you cannot be consulting what you don't know, don't use that word again. If you are not in this class, someone that did not attend this class, if you see him writing, let's say consultant, just ask him one question. Ask him what is your hope. If you cannot answer, tell him delete that thing from your page and wait for our next class. Now, what I want you to understand is you have to know this too. What we use today, what you can use today, what is most acceptable today is meters or meter. That is what is most acceptable. You hardly see any document today. I can't even see any document today that you say survey plan and they are. If you see your land like this, they cannot write 30 feet for you again. So you have to be conversant with. So I'm going to explain two things. I'm going to explain this thing with 60 by 100, 50 by 100, and 100 by 100. I'm going to explain how this is. They said, please, you have to be close to your phone. No? That's sorry, please. This thing is 60 feet by 100 feet. 60 feet by 100 feet. Now, 60 by 100. They say 60 by 100 is 5, 7. Meters. 1 meter is equal to 1 meter. Then 1 kilometer or a kilometer is equals to 1,000 meters. You understand? Let me tell you one thing. There are certain things you are supposed to be doing as a real estate consultant. If your client asks you, how far is Nikeleke? Nikeleke is always 2 minutes or 3 minutes. If your client asks you, how far is that place from that site, from this Nikeleke hotel, you can start by fanning yourself. It's about 2 to 3 kilometers. I know so many clients doesn't know this. I don't know if I'm getting it now. Even if you can tell the person self, you know, from Nikeleke to P Junction should be around something kilometers, 20 kilometers. Maybe you're selling the land at OP. The man is about 20 kilometers. They are saying 20,000 kilometers. 20,000 meters, sorry. Instead of telling the client 20,000 meters, just tell the client it's about 20 kilometers. It's not far. Or from the places, let's say very, very big. The point is 1,000 of this meter represent 1 kilometer. So they are telling you that this, or let's even say you are now a developer, you want to buy. Somebody is telling you that from this place now to where the land starts is 3 kilometers. You have an idea that 3 kilometers is equal to 3,000 meters. A meter is like this. So if you multiply this thing into 3,000, you now know what 3 kilometers looks like. I don't know if I'm clear. That's the sense of writing this. I don't know if I get it now. For example, my land is 30 meters by 15 meters. If the land is so long that I'm supposed to stretch this 30 meters into 1,000 meters, I cannot write 1,000 meters. It's not professional. I'll write 1 kilometer. Same way, you're not supposed to be writing 10,000 square meters. That's because it represents 1 hectare. You don't say, instead of writing 1,000 meters here, you write 1 kilometer. And I'm also showing you where you can use it again. So if the place is about 1,000 meters away, 1,000 meters should be around, if you're on a good speed, within 1 minute you should go to that place. Within 1 minute you are supposed to cover at a very nice speed. You are supposed to cover this thing. I can tell the person the place is just 1 kilometer. Don't be saying 1 pole. It's the pole on the side. This time thing two poles, does it have a standard? What if 1 pole is another? What if it's high tension I'm using to describe? Yeah, I'll tell you it's 2 high tensions away. That one is like 2. So just say it's 1 kilometer away. It's 10 meters away. That's how you be a consultant. Unless you just want to be a roadside agent. My brother, are you there? Any other question? That is beautiful question. The road is bad. 5 kilometers. It will take you like 10 minutes to get there, or 20 minutes to get there. Instead of me to tell my client it's 20 minutes drive, but I know the road is 5 kilometers. I don't have to start telling you anything. I just tell you, sir, it's 2 kilometers. Maybe that's the place, and maybe you're not lying. I hope you're not lying, but you're not telling the truth. So instead of you to tell the client, sir, who's our job? I got by 15 minutes. Just tell the client it's 3 kilometers. When the client comes, not just narrow it, narrow it now. But you know you have not lied. But you not tell the client actual minutes taking. Any other question? 10 hectares. Beautiful. How many? 10 hectares. When you know that one hectare, is equals to 10,000 square meters. 20 is equals to, so you don't say 20 multiplied by 10,000. If 1 hectare is equals to 10,000 square meters, 20 hectare will be equals to what? 200,000. Just say 20 multiplied by 10,000 to give you 200,000 square meters. 200,000 square meters. That's when the client now asks you again, how many plots called? It's answer, plot of good size. Or what you are in at? But don't say him like that. You say, what do you mean? Say, is it 60 by 100? Or is it 50 by 100? Is it 100 by 100? What size 60 by 100? Say, hold on. You come back again. You now say 200,000 divided by 558 or 500 or anything. The way I get it. So I'm going to work with this person. I'm going to work with this person. That's how it works. Any other question?
I'm asking about the components of survey plan. That what's the implication of a survey plan that had every of those components, including the sale, but maybe the signature of the surveyor was omitted? What was the implication?
You see, all those things we list there from A to Z. If one is missing, that document is not authentic. If one is missing, it's not authentic. You know, let me tell you, if a surveyor has done a work and the surveyor has refused to append the signature there, that's why the work cannot go far. Putting down your signature, and that is why for a surveyor, just like every other profession, like an architect, you can be a young architect and you've done your drawings, you just take it to another architect that's registered to sign on it. Just to sign on it, you collect half of that money collected. That's because signing on it means if any problem comes up, I'm the first person that they will contact. If I've refused to sign on it, I don't know you. Any other question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning. Sir, explain corner plot.
Corner plot.
Why is it bigger? And how to calculate it?
Let me clear one line. Corner plot, in some cases, are even small. It's not always big, but I will tell you why. Now, why fascinating? I've started here. This is 4-6. Mind you, in Powell, we don't do partial. Everybody, their plot size is the same. But in some cases, this is 465. our normal 465. Remember our calculation. Then I'll just say we'll just do our normal mathematics. Here is 60, here is 100. So we'll be participating. Mind you, all of them are equal. Yeah? What happens? Sometimes when you get to this point, you know that if you divide again, or let's say we divide here, if you, here is now big. If you divide again here, this place will be useless. That is why in some cases they will just leave what that was there. Can't give it for you. Can't give it for free. That is why we attach the size. So that you know. Now, here is now, that place is 465. Here is now 500. Before, they used to do and forget. But here, don't forget. We must have to calculate it for the last square meter. So, but how do we do it? How do we get the price? Let's assume that what we are selling 465 is 5 million. 465 square meter is equals to 5 million naira. Is equals to, are you getting it now? With this thing now, what we are going to determine is the size of one, is the price for 1 square meter. If you don't want to go through this route, because this one is side plus multiplication, all you will do to make it easy for us, let me not go through it because all of us are not mathematics students. What we are going to do is just say 5 million divided by 465. Anything it gives you is the price for 1 square meter. Can somebody give me 10,000? 752,688. Are you with me? This multiplied by 360. Whatever it gives you will now be the price for that place. So whenever any of our property, just know the size and the amount. If the size of their property is 465 and we are selling it for 10 million, just say 10 million divided by 460. You know, some of you have not asked yourself, why is Zanat sold at 16 million 275,000? That's because the price for 1 square meter is 35,000. So if you multiply 35,000 by 465 to give you this thing. Hallelujah. Any other question?
Is it the same thing that applies for service plots?
That's what service plots. No, service plot. Service about it. You know, that's what I'm saying. Service simply means service. I don't know. We are selling buildings and we are selling service plot. Don't confuse yourself. Let them not confuse you. Most estate properties, it is service plot. Service are going to goods. They are going to service and plot. It's just for the person to come and build. Forget about the English. That's why they say the bungalow is sold at 60 million. And the service plot that sold at 35,000 per. Tell your client that we're going to service.